In the legendarium of J.R.R. Tolkien, the House of Finwë stands at the very heart of elven history. Finwë, the High King of the Noldor, was one of the 3 original elf lords who first journeyed to Valinor. There, under the light of the 2 trees, he became the leader of the most gifted and restless of all elven kind. Finwë's legacy begins with his 3 great houses, born from different unions that would shape the fate of the First Age. From Miriel was born Finwë, the fiery spirit and maker of the Silmarils, whose brilliance and pride would ignite both glory and tragedy. From Indies came Fingolfin and Finarfin, 2 sons whose lines would carry wisdom, resilience, and hope into the darkest wars against Morgoth. From Finwë sprang a lineage of unmatched artisans and warriors, Maedhros the noble, Maglor the singer, and their 5 brothers, bound by the terrible oath that scarred history. From Fingolfin came the heroes of endurance, Fingon, the savior of Maedhros, Turgon, the hidden king of Gondolin, and later Gil-galad, the last High King who stood against Sauron in the Second Age. From Finarfin came a line of wisdom and light, Finrod Felagund, the friend of men, Angrod and Agnar, the brave brothers who fell in the dagger Bragolik, and Galadriel, the most powerful of all Noldoran women, who endured into the Third Age. Yet the story of this house begins and ends with Finwë himself, a king who sought peace but found grief. His death at the hands of Morgoth was the first murder in the Blessed Realm, and the spark that set the Noldor on the path of exile, rebellion, and destiny. The House of Finwë is the foundation of nearly every great saga of the First Age. It is a story of brilliance and sorrow, of courage and downfall, of legacies that continue to echo through all the ages of Middle-earth. The House of Finwë is the most turbulent and tragic branch of Finwë's lineage. Born from Finwë and Miriel, Finwë was the greatest of the Noldor, fiery, brilliant, and unmatched in craft. He forged the Silmarils, capturing the pure light of the 2 trees, and through this act, he set the destiny of elves and men into motion. After Morgoth stole the Silmarils, Finwë swore the dreadful oath with his 7 sons, Maedhros, Maglor, Celegorm, Caranthir, Curufin, Amrod, and Amras. This oath bound them to relentless pursuit, and led to exile, kinslaying, and unending war. Maedhros' nobility, Maglor's sorrowful songs, Celegorm and Curufin's ambitions, and the tragic fate of the twins defined their legacy. Though feared for their wrath, the Fëanorians shaped history with unmatched courage and unwavering determination. Their story is one of brilliance consumed by its own flame, a reminder that the greatest light can cast the darkest shadow. The House of Fingolfin is the noble and steadfast branch of Finwë's legacy. Born from Finwë in Indies, Fingolfin embodied wisdom, patience, and unshakable loyalty to his people. Crossing the Helcarax after Finwë abandoned them, Fingolfin led the Noldor with unmatched resolve. His march to Middle-earth, arriving beneath the rising sun, marked a turning point in the First Age. His children shaped history, Fingon, who rescued Maedhros from Thangorodrim, Turgon, the secretive king of Gondolin, Eredhel, the White Lady whose fate intertwined with Maeglin, and Argon, the valiant prince who fell early in the wars. Fingolfin himself met Morgoth in single combat at the gates of Angband. Though doomed, he wounded the Dark Lord 7 times, becoming a symbol of pure, defiant courage. From this line also sprang Gil-galad, the last High King of the Noldor, who stood against Sauron in the Second Age. The House of Fingolfin is the house of endurance, honor, and heroism, the unyielding shield of the Noldor. The House of Finarfin is the most peaceful and wise branch of Finwë's line. Born from Finwë in Indies, Finarfin chose to remain in Valinor when his brothers marched into exile, a decision rooted in clarity and compassion. Yet his children would leave a powerful mark on the First Age. Finrod Felagund, the faithful friend of men, founder of Nargothrond, who gave his life for Beren in the dungeons of Sauron. Angrod and Agnar, brave lords who held the northern front and fell in the dagger Bragolik. And Galadriel, the greatest of Noldoran women, who journeyed through the First, Second, and Third Ages, a living memory of the light of the 2 trees. Where the houses of Finwë and Fingolfin often walked into battle, the House of Finarfin walked the path of insight, diplomacy, and endurance. Even in exile, they sought understanding rather than domination, and through Galadriel, their legacy endured longer than any other elven line. The House of Finarfin is the house of wisdom, mercy, and light, a beacon that shone all the way into the Third Age.